she had been afraid to say out loud. Her marriage was ending, not because of one big betrayal, but because love had slowly gone quiet. She had married Raymond 7 years earlier, full of hope and certainty. Raymond was 41 then, steady, confident, and charming in a calm way. In the early years, their life felt simple and warm. They laughed easily. They planned trips they never took. They talked about growing old together and believed, honestly believed, that love would be enough to survive anything. Andrea remembered those early days clearly. Sunday mornings with coffee, shared jokes, the comfort of knowing someone was always there. But time changed things in ways neither of them noticed at first. The arguments didn't begin as explosions. They started as small misunderstandings. Words said the wrong way. Long days followed by tired nights. Raymond became impatient. Andrea became sensitive. Conversations turned into debates, and debates turned into fights. Soon, they were arguing almost every day, about money, about work, about nothing and everything. The house felt tense, like a place where both of them were always preparing for the next disagreement. Andrea tried to fix it. She told herself that all marriages go through hard seasons. She listened more, spoke less. She changed the way she talked, the way she reacted. She swallowed her frustration and chose silence instead of conflict. She suggested counseling. She suggested time together. She suggested starting over. Raymond listened sometimes, but nothing really changed. His words became shorter. His patience thinner. And slowly, love stopped showing up in the small places where it used to live. They still shared the same home, but they no longer shared their hearts. Dinner became quiet. Nights became long. Andrea lay awake next to a man who felt farther away than any stranger. She missed him even when he was right beside her. That loneliness hurt more than any argument ever had. It was the kind of pain that didn't scream. It whispered every day that something was wrong. Eventually, silence replaced fighting. And that silence was heavier than anger. The day Andrea signed the divorce papers, her hands shook as she held the pen. The room was quiet. Too quiet. Signing her name felt like admitting failure, like closing a door she had once promised would stay open forever. With one final stroke, 7 years of marriage became a memory. As she stood up and walked away, Andrea felt lost, broken, and empty, but somewhere deep inside, another feeling stirred. This was not the end of her story. It was the moment her life began to change. After the divorce, Andrea moved into a small apartment near the city center. It was close to her job and far from the life she had just left behind. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. At night, the silence felt heavy, pressing against her chest. There were no arguments anymore, but there was also no laughter. No familiar footsteps. No one asking how her day had been. The first few weeks were the hardest. Andrea often sat on the edge of her bed, staring at the wall, wondering how 7 years could disappear so quickly. Some nights, she cried without knowing exactly why. Not just because the marriage ended, but because she felt like she had failed. She had believed love would be enough. She had believed trying harder would fix everything. During the day, Andrea forced herself to stay busy. Her job became her anchor. At work, she smiled, answered emails, focused on tasks, and pretended she was fine. The routine helped her survive. It gave her a reason to wake up, to move forward 1 hour at a time. When she was working, she didn't have to think about empty dinners or quiet weekends. Her friends noticed the change. They called often, invited her out, tried to pull her back into the world. Andrea, you shouldn't stay alone all the time, they said. There are good people out there. You can start dating again. Andrea knew they meant well, but every time she heard those words, her chest tightened. She wasn't ready. The idea of opening her heart again felt exhausting. Her heart was still healing, still bruised from years of tension and disappointment. She didn't want promises. She didn't want excitement. She just wanted peace. So she said no. Again and again. I need time, she told them. And it was true. Her life settled into a quiet rhythm. Wake up. Go to work. Come home. Make simple meals. Watch the city lights from her window. On the outside, she looked calm. On the inside, she was still searching for herself. She wondered who she was now, without a husband, without the role she had played for so long. Andrea wasn't broken, but she wasn't whole either. She was standing in between the past she had left and a future she couldn't yet imagine. Then one ordinary morning, as she walked to work holding a cup of coffee, her foot caught on something uneven on the sidewalk. She stumbled. The cup slipped from her hand. Coffee spilled across her clothes and splashed onto the street. People walked past. Andrea stood there, embarrassed, frozen, until a calm voice spoke beside her. Do you need some help? Robin entered Andrea's life in the simplest way, without noise or intention. He was just a man with kind eyes who happened to be there when she felt small and embarrassed on the street, staring at coffee stains on her clothes and wondering how her life had become so fragile. He did not laugh. He did not rush. He simply offered help as if it was the most natural thing in the world. They sat together in a small cafe not far from her office. Robin spoke first, not with deep questions, but with light stories about his morning, his work, the city. His voice was calm. His words were gentle. Andrea noticed something immediately. He listened. When she spoke, he didn't interrupt or look away. He didn't check his phone. He looked at her like her words mattered. It made her feel safe in a way she hadn't felt for years. They began meeting again, almost by accident. Coffee turned into lunch. Lunch turned into long walks after work. There was no pressure, no expectations. Robin never asked about her past. He never asked why she lived alone or why she sometimes looked distant. He let her choose what to share and when. That patience slowly opened something inside her. One afternoon, while sitting in a quiet park, Andrea finally spoke about her divorce. Her voice was careful, almost afraid. She talked about the arguments, the silence, and the feeling of losing herself inside a marriage that once felt like home. She expected questions or advice. Instead, Robin stayed quiet until she finished. Then he said softly, "Sometimes life breaks us. And it hurts more than we expect. But broken things can be rebuilt. Sometimes stronger than before." Those words stayed with her. Not because they were dramatic, but because they felt true. Robin didn't promise to fix her. He didn't say everything would be okay. He simply accepted her pain without trying to change it. For Andrea, that was new. Weeks passed. Andrea noticed small changes in herself. She laughed more easily. She walked with lighter steps. She looked forward to moments again. When her phone buzzed, her heart jumped before she even checked the screen. She told herself it was nothing, just friendship. But deep down, she knew something was changing. One evening, she caught herself smiling at her phone, waiting for a message that hadn't arrived yet. And that realization surprised her. After everything she had lost, after all the silence and disappointment, her heart was quietly opening again. Not because she was searching for love, but because someone had shown her kindness without conditions. The call came on an ordinary afternoon, right between two meetings at work. Andrea stared at the unknown number on her screen, almost letting it ring out. But something in her chest tightened, an old instinct that remembered how silence used to sound. "Hello," she said softly. A pause. Then a familiar voice, older and rougher than she remembered. "Andrea, it's Raymond." For a moment, the office around her disappeared. She was back in that final day, the pen trembling in her hand, the paper waiting, the air too heavy to breathe. Her fingers went cold as she held the phone. "What do you want?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Raymond exhaled like he had been carrying this sentence for months. "I miss you. I've been thinking about you every day. I made mistakes. I know I did. But I've changed. I'm not asking for the past back. I'm asking for a chance. Just one chance to talk." Andrea didn't answer right away. She wanted to believe him, because believing would be easier than remembering. But memory rushed in anyway, the arguments that started over nothing and ended with slammed doors, dinners eaten in silence, her voice shrinking smaller each year, her heart learning to stop asking. Raymond kept talking, his tone urgent now. I was angry all the time. I didn't know how to be gentle. I didn't know how to listen. But I'm trying now. I'm different. Please, meet me. Andrea looked down at her desk. Her hands were steady, but her stomach felt like it was falling. She realized something frightening. Part of her still knew how to return to pain, because pain was familiar. That evening, she met Robin for coffee like they usually did. He noticed her quietness immediately, not with suspicion but with care. "You're not here tonight," he said gently. "What happened?" Andrea hesitated, then told him. She expected advice. She expected judgment. But Robin didn't interrupt. He didn't rush to rescue her with words. He simply listened, his eyes calm, his hands still. When she finished, Robin said softly, "Whatever you choose. Don't choose it because you're scared. Choose it because it's true." His words didn't push her in any direction. They did something more important. They gave her permission to trust herself. That night, Andrea sat alone in her apartment, staring at the city lights outside her window. Raymond's voice echoed in her head, "I've changed." But another voice rose louder, the one she had almost forgotten, her own. And for the first time, she didn't ask, "What if I'm wrong?" She asked, "What if I finally choose right?" Her phone buzzed again. A new message from Raymond. "Please, Andrea. Just meet me once." Andrea stared at the screen, her thumb hovering over the keyboard. As the room filled with the kind of silence that comes right before a life changes. Andrea did not rush into happiness. After everything she had been through, she knew healing was not a straight line. Some mornings she still woke up with a heavy feeling in her chest. Some nights she still remembered the woman she used to be, the one who cried quietly in a broken marriage and wondered if love had left her forever. But slowly, something changed. Robin never pushed her. He never asked her to forget her past or pretend it did not hurt. Instead, he stayed. He listened. He showed up in small, steady ways. He remembered how she liked her coffee. He walked beside her, not in front of her. With him, Andrea did not feel the need to explain her scars. They were simply part of her story. One evening, they were walking through the park where they often spent time together. The air was cool, and the city lights reflected softly on the lake. They sat on a bench, talking about nothing important, work, books, small dreams. Then Robin became quiet. He looked at Andrea with a calm seriousness she had learned to trust. He took her hand and said, "Andrea, I know you've been hurt. I know trusting again is not easy. But loving you has never felt confusing to me. It feels honest. And I don't want to walk this life without you." He did not kneel dramatically. He did not make a big speech. He simply asked, "Will you choose me, freely, not out of fear?" Andrea felt tears rise in her eyes. Not tears of pain this time, but of clarity. She realized something important in that moment. Her divorce had not been a failure. Staying in a marriage where love had turned into silence would have been the real failure. Leaving had saved her. It had led her here. "Yes," she said softly. "I choose you." They had a small wedding. No pressure. No pretending. Just people who truly cared, quiet laughter, and a feeling of peace Andrea had never known before. When she looked at Robin, she did not feel fear of losing him. She felt safe being herself. Andrea finally understood that love does not mean suffering to prove loyalty. Real love feels steady. It listens. It grows where honesty lives. Sometimes love ends, not to punish us, but to guide us toward the right person at the right time. If this story touched your heart, share your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you felt the emotion. And subscribe to continue learning English through real, meaningful life stories.